Hello, I'm Brian Trenchard-Smith. Akira Kurosawa's ancestors were samurai, that feudal warrior class that dominated Japan till their dissolution under the Meiji Restoration in 1868. So it's not surprising that Akira Kurosawa would want to create his own vision of samurai life. In this case, those who became ronin, masterless samurai, roaming Japan as swords for hire. The resulting Seven Samurai is one of the greatest, most influential films of all time, full of complex characters, social observation, political subtext, and groundbreaking action sequences. Yet Kurosawa, the star director of Toho Studios, was nearly fired at a critical point in production. The story is set in 1587 during a war-torn period in Japanese history. 7 out-of-work samurai are hired by farmers to defend their village against bandits. As an example of political subtext, the 4 samurai who die are all killed by gunfire, symbolizing the pernicious influence of the West. Kurosawa insisted on constructing the village on location at considerable added cost rather than on the Toho backlot. Shooting commenced on May 27, 1953. Kurosawa drove cast, crew and himself hard. By mid-July, he was sent to hospital suffering from exhaustion. His illness was compounded by eating beef contaminated with roundworm, a common problem in economically devastated post-war Japan. Also devastated was the film's budget, which had been pegged at a maximum of $200,000. Yet by September there was only $19,000 left. Worse, he had shot barely a third of his script. Summer rains had been a problem, but the principal cause of delay was Kurosawa's perfectionism. The studio shut the picture down. Rumors circulated that Kurosawa would be replaced by prolific B-movie producer-director Kunio Watanabe, who sometimes shot as many as 9 films a year. He was anti-union, anti-leftist, and had called 2 of Kurosawa's earlier films communist propaganda, not an ideal candidate to take over a film about the working poor banding together against commercial predators. So Kurosawa went fishing, while the studio made up its mind. He told a friend Toho isn't going to waste the money they've already spent. Luckily, he was right. Shooting resumed on October the 3rd, but if Toho thought near dismissal might curtail their director's perfectionism, they were wrong. Shooting dragged on into the next year. His cast and crew were devoted to him. Each night, Kurosawa would host lengthy dinners in the banquet hall of the hotel where they all lived. The studio realized that replacing him would now cause a mutiny. Cleverly, he delayed shooting the critical battle scenes till the final days, knowing Toho would pull the plug once he had the climax in the can. A summer movie was now shooting amid winter snow flurries, but Kurosawa wanted the battle to play in a torrential downpour. Each time it snowed, cast and crew, aided by water pumps, trod the icy water into mud. Toshiro Mifune, whose character wore little clothing, spent weeks in hospital after the shoot was over. Kurosawa explained his fanatical approach in words every driven filmmaker understands. "I don't plan on being mean to anybody, but it's like I hear a voice from the heavens. I guess all of us are possessed by something." After 148 days of shooting, the production finally wrapped, costing Toho $560,000, 6 times the cost of an average Japanese feature, almost crippling the studio. But it became the top grosser in Japan that year and won the Silver Lion at Venice. Yet it was not even nominated for a Best Foreign Film Oscar. Somehow, Toho sold a Hollywood producer the remake rights for $250, resulting at least in an excellent western, The Magnificent Seven. But the original Seven Samurai is a film you can see over and over and find something new each time.